This is Nathan Willard from Ankeny United Church of Christ. Although on this morning, once again, from Iona Abbey, as we continue our walk through 50 great prayers from the Iona community, which was compiled by Neil Painter back in 2009. And there's always a link to that for where you can purchase that in both at the end of the discussion and in any of the comments and descriptions of the videos. So one of the things that we do in prayer is we like to meditate sometimes. We like to meditate on what it is we are looking for in God. We like to meditate on what it is that we are seeking. We like to meditate on who we are seeking and how we interact with God. And the reason we meditate like that in prayer, one of the practices of prayer is preparing our bodies and our minds to hear God, to experience God. One reason we go through the prayers every day is we may not feel things every day, but we train ourselves to do that, to be listening, because sometimes we do feel God's presence. Sometimes we do hear God's presence, and sometimes we don't recognize it when it's there. And so by listening, we can hear God more. By listening, we can understand how God is working in us and changing us. And sometimes we find, as we'll get to in this prayer itself, sometimes we find that that experience is a little unexpected. It may not be every day the reassurance of God. It may be something else. It may be something else that we experience. Sometimes we are tested in where we are going and what we are meant to be doing. And in that testing, in that challenge to us, we find God too, because God, as we say often in this church, God is always found in the questions rather than the answers. That if we think there are questions before us, then we know we need to do seeking. If we are confident only of our answers, then what more is there to discover? And if there's anything that we are doing in this church, we are trying to explore progressive Christian theology. It's always active, and prayer leads us into that, and God leads us into that. And that's why we hold up exploration as a virtue. So this poem is by Ruth Burgess, as are a number of poems in this collection. And this one is called You Take Me Seriously. I settle into stillness, searching, seeking, trusting your joy. My mind races and you embrace it, wrapping me round with wonder and grace. You wrestle with me, question with me, take me seriously. I bless the honesty of your love. The full gamut of things, the joy and the warmth and the companionship and the questioning, and the knowing that in the questioning, the underlying assumption is that we matter. If we did not matter, we would not need to be questioned. To be taken seriously is to open ourselves up to all kinds of new experiences, welcome, warming, challenging, difficult, but always leading to growth. This is Pastor Nathan Willard from Ankeny United Church of Christ on this Monday, September 14th, 2020.